So the truth of the matter is that the whole government response to COVID and everything that we've seen happening over the last 12 months has really screwed the manufacturing industry, and particularly with trucks and Jeeps and trailers, tractors, pretty much anything that has tires on it. It's been completely screwed up, and it's really sad. But last year a lot of the manufacturing facilities had to close down for a while, to kind of get a grip on everything. And obviously when they were able to go back to work and open back up again, they had to basically play catch up. And like when you look at a trailer like this, I bought this in November, I think it was, and because of the supply issues, they were almost impossible to find. Inventory was down to almost nothing, and so if you needed a new trailer, you had to pretty much take what you could find. I mean, if you ordered one, they were saying maybe 6 months or more, so it was a situation where you just basically take what you can find. So this one came into my local dealer, I think it was a Thursday or Friday, and I bought it on Saturday. So as soon as I saw it, I grabbed it, snatched it up. But just going over this trailer, you can tell that it's a COVID trailer. You could tell that they were, at that point in the year, they were just pushing these things out the door as fast as they possibly could. You've got that waviness in the exterior, panels that don't fit up right, the dovetail on the interior floor is crooked, none of the frame or undercarriage or framework was treated or painted properly. The lumber used on the floor is untreated lumber, whereas I'm pretty sure that they had been using treated lumber before that. They probably did that as a cost-saving measure because lumber prices went nuts too. Just on and on and on. I mean, when you look over this trailer, you can tell that at this point, they were just shoving these things out the door as fast as they possibly could, just trying to catch up. And it's really unfortunate. And, now in 2021, it's not really looking a lot better for the automotive sector, because now we're hearing about this computer chip shortage. So like Ram has stopped making some of the Ram 1500 classic trucks that they had been rolling off the line. There's a lot of different models from different brands that have been shut down or put on hold or whatever the case might be, while they mitigate the issue and look for other sources and try to go back and fix things. So basically what it amounts to is, if you buy a new truck or Jeep or tractor or trailer during this time, that was built in 2020 or unfortunately going to be built in 2021, I don't have any way to prove this, at least not yet, but I would be willing to wager that those vehicles are going to have a greater percentage of issues and problems down the road, because again, the manufacturing routine has just been completely thrown out of whack, and they've had to kind of call an audible, to use a football analogy. So when that happens, when your routine is thrown out of whack, I mean, they have a certain percentage of flaws and build quality issues and things anyway, just in the normal course of doing business. But when you throw this into the works, it's just making everything worse. So my Ram pickup truck was built in November of 2019, right before all of this kind of hit the fan. So I'm probably good on it. But I'm betting that if you bought a new Ram that was built, last year, late last year, or early this year, or going forward in time here, I mean, I hope it's not the case. I really do. And like I said, a lot of brands are affected by this, but I'm just betting that they end up having more issues with those. I think that's what we're going to probably see. And like this trailer, I mean, I've had to do a lot of work on this trailer that should have been done at the manufacturing facility. Painting all of that framework, undercoating the wheel well housings, fixing some of the stuff on the inside so that it's protected, painting some of like the tongue that was already rusting out, excuse me, around where the hitch ball goes up into to the tongue. I had to do a lot of work on that. So, you know, I've just really seen that, you know, you're getting less. Basically, you're paying more. Prices are going up, and you're paying more, but you're getting less. You know, and that's just unfortunately the way things are right now. So COVID has really, it's screwed up a lot of things. It's, you know, it's hurt a lot of people, and it's put a lot of businesses out of business, and the ones that have survived are, you know, putting out inferior products, just trying to keep up, and it's really screwed up everything. So hopefully in the years that are coming, we're going to see all of this go away, and we're going to get back to normal. But for right now, if I were you, if you're going to buy a new tractor or a new trailer or a new truck or a new Jeep, just be careful, get a good warranty, buy an extended warranty if you can, look it over really well, you know, just try to do your homework and protect yourself. While I'm thinking of it, the tractor that I just bought was actually made in the summer of 2019, so it was right before the COVID stuff hit also. It had been sitting on the dealer's lot for a while, so I kind of got lucky there. My truck and my tractor are both pre-COVID. But anyway, a lot of people probably say, oh, there's nothing to it. Quality, build quality is going to be just the same. Maybe it will. I don't know. I hope so. I really hope so. But I'm real skeptical about that. You know, you hear about all this stuff going on in the news and what the manufacturing plants are doing to try and mitigate it. And it's like, yeesh, that's going to cause some problems. But anyhow, that's just my thoughts on it. It's a strange time we live in. I'm 42 years old. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I've seen viruses and pandemics and tragedies and terrible things. I've just never seen this kind of response to it before. You know, it's thrown the whole world into chaos like this. It's crazy. So anyway, hopefully that means that we're headed up from here and better days are coming. So buyer beware if you get one of these, what I call a South Georgia trailer. You know, there's a sweatshop for enclosed trailers that goes on down in South Georgia. There's like 85 different brands that they build them under, and they turn them out just as fast as they can. Well, they completely forgot to paint or coat any of this steel back here, and it's rusting out really bad already. Now this is a brand spanking new trailer. I bet it's got 200 miles on it, maybe. It's only been used a couple of times. So I'm having to go in here. I've already sanded a lot of this. I got more to do, and basically, I mean, it's just rusting out all over. So I got to sand all this down. I mean, the axles already got rust on them. Leaf spring and hardware. I mean, there's just all kinds of rust up in here. So I got to sand it all down. I'm going to hit it with some rust protector primer enamel. And then I think I'm going to undercoat it. Put some undercoating up in here. You know, stuff that they should have done at the manufacturing facility that they did not do. So anyway, if you're going to buy one of these enclosed trailers, FYI, get up under it, crawl around, you know, make sure everything has been coated. Now, these do have a warranty, but from what I've heard, it's almost impossible to get them to cover it under warranty, to work with you under warranty. So I really don't want to deal with that if I don't have to. And you probably saw a video as soon as I brought this thing home. I crawled up under it and I painted all the frame, all the cross members. I got up in there with a paint gun, one of those electric paint guns, and some tractor and equipment enamel, and sprayed all the frame and everything down. But I didn't get this, and it shows, because a couple 100 miles later it's rusting out on me. So anyway, that turned into today's project that I wasn't really planning on doing, but hopefully once I coat it with this stuff and then give it a real good undercoat, hopefully it'll hold up. We'll see. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm out of breath. That was actually a pretty tough job, jacking this thing up, taking the wheels and tires off, sanding it all down. That kind of sucked. I hate painting. It's just so tedious and time consuming. It's one of those jobs I just hate. But I had to buy this wire wheel. Camera won't focus. Come on. Anyway, there we go. I bought a wire wheel to sand it all down with. I bought 4 cans of primer and 4 cans of the undercoating. And so I've got about 45 bucks total invested, and it's not perfect, but it looks a lot better. And like I said, the main idea here is just to try and keep rust from eating this trailer up like cancer. So hopefully with the primer and the undercoating, hopefully it'll last for a while. I still need to wash it, it's dirty, but I've just kind of been focusing on the undercarriage today. Whew, man, one of those projects that, like I said, when I woke up this morning, this was not on my list of to-dos, but I needed to get it done because spring is here, and pretty soon we'll be using this thing to actually go to off-road parks and things like that. So I gotta take a break here, I think, and and then I'm gonna put the wheels and tires back on. See how wavy that upper section is up there? Like right in that area. Got some of the aluminum down here that doesn't fit because they screwed it in a little bit too tight. Looks like the payload on this Mojave package on this particular truck is 1,051 pounds, and that's another thing that just kills these trucks. The payload ratings are so low. I mean, think about it. If you have a family of 4, you're going to eat almost all of that up as soon as you get in the truck. That leaves you almost nothing left to actually haul things in the truck or pull a trailer. One of the shortcomings, but I guess all of the mid-sized trucks kind of suffer from that same thing. Just kind of out and about today. Stopped at the Jeep dealership. They have a Gladiator Mojave, and it's actually a really nice truck. I tell you what, this one is the hydro blue color. I'll show it to you when I get out. That color's really growing on me. But unfortunately, the sticker price on this one is $60,000, and you can't get the diesel engine on the Mojave. It's like the only trim level in the Gladiator lineup that you cannot get the diesel engine with. Has a lot to do with the way they design the front suspension, I think. So, excuse me. Anyway, it's a really nice truck, though. It's got the leather trimmed seats, 8.4-inch screen, rear axle locker down there. I mean, it is a really nice truck, and there's just something about these Jeeps. You know, I've had a couple of these. When I sit in these things, I just fall in love with them all over again. They are really, really cool vehicles. They're just so much fun, and they're kind of unique. You know, it's like a one-off kind of deal. You know, when you get in one of these, you feel like you're in something special, if that makes any sense. I always have loved these. I still have a special place in my heart for it. But I think if I get another one, it will have to be a diesel, because I really do like the way that the diesel tows my trailer. But just look at that color, though. That color looks so good. I mean, like I said, it really is growing on me. And of course, with the Mojave, you get the orange tow hooks and lettering and some of the trim work. Very nice looking truck. If they would just put the diesel in these, I might be game. So today's project is to do some springtime maintenance on the weather station. So I'm up here on the tower, and what I'm really trying to do is replace the anemometer, because it hasn't really been giving me very good readings lately. So I gotta put a new one up there and run some fresh cable. Yeah, so if I'm being completely honest about it, I'm kind of afraid of heights. I don't like ladders, so I try to do this very sparingly. But I got it up there, and now all I have to do is get in here and make my new connection. So I'm gonna disconnect the one for the old anemometer. I'm gonna leave the old anemometer up there for now, and hook this new one up, make sure it works. And then if it does work, I may try to get up there one day and take the old one down. I don't know. I really hate getting up there, but this is something you don't have to do very often. This is a Davis Vantage Pro 2 station, and it actually is probably the best residential grade weather station that you can buy. I mean, this one has only been in service for a short time, but I got a really good deal on it. That's why I went ahead and bought it. The other one that I had just like this was in service for 13 or 14 years, and the only thing that ever took it out was a lightning strike that we had one time. So they're really good stations. They last a long time. You don't have to do a lot to them, and that's one of the reasons I like them. Very little maintenance. Well, I think we have success. It seems to be working pretty well. And actually, I mean, just visually watching it, you can see that the wind cups are spinning a little faster than the old one. The old one's the one in the middle right there. This is a different kind of station that I was just using experimentally just to see how they compared to the really nice Davis stations. So I don't really care about it as much, but I want my Davis station to work really good. And you can see how the wind cups are spinning faster. So I think the old one was just starting to get worn out. They have a reed switch in there, and I guess over the years, you know, they finally wear out on you, and it's really hard to replace. So it's easier just to get another anemometer. But looks like we're in good shape, just in time for the big storm coming in tomorrow. Awesome.